Yes, your parents must be patient, because it is indeed a grim job market out there. One of the reasons it's so tough finding work is that aging baby boomers refuse to leave their jobs. Trust me on this. Even when they promise you for 5 years that they are going to leave and say it on television, you can go on YouTube right now and watch the guy do it. There is no guarantee they won't come back. Of course, I'm speaking generally. But this is not a time for grim prognostications or negativity, no. I came here today because, believe it or not, I actually do have something weird to tell you. 11 years ago, I gave an address to a graduation class at Harvard. I have not spoken at a graduation since because I thought I have nothing left to say. But then 2010 came, and now I'm here 3,000 miles from my home because I learned a hard but profound lesson last year and I'd like to share it with you. In 2000, I told graduates, don't be afraid to fail. Now, I'm here to tell you that though you should not fear failure, you should do your very best to avoid it. YouTube famously said, whatever doesn't kill you makes you stronger. But what it failed to stress is that it almost kills you. Disappointment stings for driven successful people like yourselves. It is disorienting. What Nietzsche should have said is, whatever doesn't kill you makes you watch a lot of Cartoon Network and drink mid-fresh Chardonnay at 11 in the morning. Now, by definition, commencement speakers at an Ivy League college are considered successful. But a little over a year ago, I experienced a profound and very public disappointment. I did not get what I wanted and left the system that had nurtured and helped define me for the better part of 17 years. I went from being in the center of the grid to not only off the grid, but underneath the coffee table that the grid sits on. Lost in the shared carpeting that is underneath the coffee table supporting the grid. It was the making of a career disaster and terrible energy. But then, something spectacular happened. Fog-bound with no compass and adrift, I started trying things. I grew a strange cinnamon beard. I dove into a world of social media. I started tweeting my comedy. I drew together a national tour. I played the guitar. I did stand-up, wore a skin-tight blue leather suit. Recorded an album, made a documentary, and frightened my friends and family. Ultimately, I abandoned all preconceived perceptions of my career path and stature, and took a job on basic cable with the network most famous for showing reruns, along with sitcoms created by a tall black man who dresses like an old woman. I did a lot of silly, unconventional, spontaneous, and seemingly irrational things. And guess what? With no existence of blue leather suit, it was the most satisfying and fascinating year of my professional life. To this day, I still don't understand exactly what happened, but I had never had more fun, but more challenged, and this is important, and more conviction about what I was doing. How could this be true? Well, it's simple. There are few things more liberating in this life than having your worst fear realized. I went to college with many people who prided themselves on knowing exactly who they were and exactly where they are going. At Harvard, 5 different guys in my class told me that they would one day be the President of the United States. 4 of them were later killed in motel shootouts. The other one briefly hosted Blue's Clues before dying senselessly in yet another motel shootout. Your path at 22 will not necessarily be your path at 32 or 42. One's dream is constantly evolving, rising and falling, changing course. This happens in every job, but because I've worked in comedy for 25 years, I can probably speak best about my own profession. Way back in the 1940s, there was a very funny man named Jack Benny. He was a giant star, easily one of the greatest comedians of his generation. And a much younger man named Johnny Carson wanted very much to be Jack Benny.